Hi guys, I'm Carly, and this is your 7-day yoga series for balance. This is an intermediate level series. This is day 1, and each video will get progressively a little bit more challenging. You don't need any equipment for today's video, so just roll out your mat and let's get started. If you don't have time to do this video right now, go ahead and save it to your watch later playlist, and you can join me when you're ready. Alright guys, we're going to get started today in a seated position on the mat. Just sit cross-legged position, close down your eyes, bring your hands to your heart center. This is the first video in our 7-day yoga balance series. And balancing is pretty hard for most of us. So take a moment here to ground into your body. Notice all of your points of contact with the mat. And start to bring some awareness to your breath. Know that any time you fall out of a balance is completely okay. I just want you to get right back into it and do your best as we move throughout today's flow. Every time you fall and get back up, you train your body to get a little bit better and more stable each time. Start to bring your breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Two more nice long breaths here. Gently begin to open your eyes, and we'll come into tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze so you open your throat and your whole spine. Exhale, round and curl cat pose. Pull your belly button in, tuck your chin to your chest. We'll take that breath to movement. Each inhale is cow pose, belly drops, gaze lifts. And exhale like an angry cat, push the mat away. Two more just like that. Starting to mobilize through the entire spine. Last one. Excellent. Return to a neutral spine. Bird dog. Extend the right hand forward about parallel with the ground so it's nice and lifted up by your ear. And extend your left leg back behind you. Also nice and tall here, like you're creating a straight line from your right fingertips to your left toe. Now re-engage the core. If the belly started to drop, try to bring the back to a neutral place. Take a full breath in. Stay on your breath out. Now we're going to take a little pulse here. Just barely lower the left toes in the right hand and then lift back up. Squeeze your left glute. Little lower and lift. Lower and lift. For 5. For 4. 3. 2. And 1, lower back to tabletop, right hand plants, left knee plants. We'll take that right to the other side. Extend your left arm forward and your right leg back. Find that lifted position with the belly and find a straight line from your left fingertips to your right toes. We'll hold for another round of breath in and out. Let's find that baby pulse slightly lower, just about an inch, and lift back up. Here we go. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Replant your left hand and your right knee. Take a wrist stretch. Bring your fingertips to face towards your knees. Palms are still on the mat. And find a gentle rock forward and back here. Finding the stretch throughout the wrists and the fingertips. Now flip palms face up, fingertips still face towards your knees, and make some little fists. Curl the fingers in and release long. In yoga, we can be on our wrists a lot, so it's really good to try to mobilize through the wrists and the fingers here. Excellent. Come back to tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Pedal out through your feet here. Then find a moment of stillness in your downward dog. You can bend your knees as much as you'd like to find more length through the spine. Your knees do not have to be perfectly straight, but I want your spine to feel as straight as you can. Find that full round of breath in and out through your nose. On your next inhale, come onto your tiptoes and rock the spine forward into plank pose. I always like to start a nice balancing series with some core work. It's so much easier to balance when your abdominals are really awakened up here. So push the mat away so that space between your shoulder blades is kind of doming up, and squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the kneecaps. Take one more inhale. And exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Hug your elbows in tight. Inhale, baby cobra. Untuck the toes so the tops of the feet are on the mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Squeeze your elbows together. Your neck gaze is neutral. So you're really working here mostly through the spine. There's not too much weight in the hands and the fingers here. One more breath in. Exhale, bring your forehead down to the mat. One more baby cobra. Inhale, lift, squeeze your glutes. Push the tops of your feet into the mat. Feel your upper back really lifting you. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. This time, press your torso up off the mat so just your hands and feet are on the mat. Your knees are lifted. Gaze up towards the ceiling for a full breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back once again. We're going to do one salutation A to really finish our warm-up nice and strong here. So inhale, lift onto your tiptoes, bend your knees, look between your hands, and walk, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, like you're gazing over a cliff here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, extended mountain pose. Lift up, gaze up, palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Again, inhale, extended mountain pose. Lift up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Melt your chest over your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Step back through your plank. Lower your elbows halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Bring your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. Give me a full cycle of breath here. Inhale, gaze between your hands and walk, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extended mountain pose, Urdhva Hastasana. Bring your hands together at the top. And exhale, hands to your heart. Here comes our first standing balance tree pose. Ground down into the mat with all four corners of your left foot. And your right foot can either stay with your toes on the ground to help your balance, or you'll bring it up to your calf or above the knee into your thigh. So whichever one's feeling best for you. And if this is really challenging and you have a chair or anything at home nearby, you can also place your left hand on a chair to help your balance. Otherwise, bring your hands to your heart. Or to challenge yourself even more, you can grow your tree some branches by lifting your arms up into the sky. Now, one thing I want you to work on here is finding your drishti point. So that is something unmoving that's out in front of you for you to hold your balance by gazing at. That will really help you feel steady here. One more inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, one leg Tadasana. Try to keep your foot lifted as you transition into this pose. We have about a 90-degree bend in the right knee, and arms extend up. We're trying to get the right leg parallel to the mat, so it's nice and high. Your standing leg, your left leg, can be a little bit bent to help protect the knee joint if that feels good for you. One more inhale here. Exhale, like you're moving through molasses. I want you to send your right foot all the way to the back of the mat really slowly, and then step into high crescent lunge. So we're high on the ball of the right toes and deeply bending into the left leg. We're here for a full breath in. Exhale, sink lower, arms lift. One more inhale. Exhale, low crescent. Drop your right knee all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes and sink your hips forwards. Now, if this is a lot of pressure on your back knee, you can have a blanket with you and place that under the back knee to help take some of the pressure from the floor off. Full breath in. Full breath out. Lizard lunge. Plant your hands to the inside of the left foot and walk your left foot out to the left a little bit more. If the ground is pretty far away from you, feel free to grab some blocks or something for under your hands. Now, start to wing onto the outer edge of the left foot. This will start to open up more into the left hip, and that's going to prepare us for our peak pose that we have coming up, which is a figure 4 chair. So I want us to really wake up the left glute here. So sometimes I like to sway my hips around. Or you can even take your left hand and encourage your left knee away from you into kind of a lizard twist here. Now we'll bring the left foot all the way back to the ground. Left hand to the inside of the left foot here, so we're still in a lizard lunge. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee off the mat. So you're in a pretty active lizard here. Big transition, we're coming into side plank. So use your core, use your balance here to swing your left foot around to meet your right and lift your left hand up into the air. If this feels pretty easy, you can also hover your left leg off the right. Full round of breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant your left hand and your left foot lower halfway to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Squeeze your glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full round of breath to reset, reconnect. We'll take that to the other side. Inhale, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Reach up, gaze up, palms touch at the top. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Excellent. We'll ground down through all 4 corners of the right foot for our tree pose. So again, left toes can stay on the mat and you can work on your balance here. Or bring your left foot to the inside of your right shin, or left foot all the way up to the inner thigh on the right side. Now we're also focusing on external rotation here in tree pose. So we're trying to keep our hips pretty open so our left knee's reaching back. Now your tree can grow some branches if you're feeling pretty steady here. think I need to work on my drishti point. We'll take a full round of breath in and out. Inhale, one leg Tadasana. Can you keep your left leg lifted and transition it forward out in front of you? So now if our hip bones are headlights, they're pointing directly forward. Full breath in. Exhale, really slowly move into high crescent lunge. Hover your torso forward and your left leg back. Bend into your right knee. Last thing that happens is your left toes come to the mat. Find length in your arms, but drop your shoulders down your back. Inhale. Exhale, sink a little lower. Inhale. Exhale, low crescent. Drop your left knee down to the mat. Sink your hips forward. We're still reaching up with the arms. Energy through all 10 fingertips. One more round of breath here. Squeeze your left glute. Lizard lunge. Shimmy your right foot out to the right and drop your hands to the mat on the inside of your right foot. Left knee still down on the mat. Now wing onto the outer edge of your right foot. And stay right here and do a little wiggle side to side. Or use your right hand to push the right knee away from you into a little twist. Remember, we want to have a little sensation in the outside of the right glute now here. One more round of breath. All right, let's activate that lizard lunge. Both hands on the mat, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. Side plank, slowly bring your right foot back to meet your left and reach your right hand up into the sky. Option to hover your right foot into the air. Take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant your right hand and your right foot, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your hands all the way to the back of the mat so you're in a forward fold. Hands crawl to your feet. Bend your knees, grab opposite elbows, sway side to side. Do a little rag doll here. Release your elbows. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Keep your knees bent as you do so. Until you're in mountain pose at the back of the mat. Roll your shoulders down your back so your chest is proud. Inhale, lift onto your tippy toes and reach your arms up above your head like a ballerina. Remember to engage your core, slight tuck of the tailbone, squeeze your glutes, find your drishti point out in front of you, something unmoving to gaze at, and tiptoe to the top of the mat. If you fall, come right back into it. Once you reach the top of the mat, lower your heels, lower your arms. We're coming into our peak pose here, a figure 4 chair. So inhale, chair pose, sit your hips nice and low, arms up by your ears, engage through the core. Now hover your right foot off the mat. If that's feeling easy, we're coming into figure 4, cross your right ankle over your left leg. If your arms are starting to burn, you can also bring them to prayer at heart center. Otherwise, keep your arms up for a challenge. Having your arms above your head also always increases your heart rate here. Keep your chest proud, sit your hips a little bit lower. And we'll gently release, come back to chair pose. We're going right to the other side. I know it burns. Hover your left foot off the mat. Take it into figure 4 chair. Cross your left ankle over your right leg. Hands to prayer or keep them reaching up. Squeeze your biceps up by your ears. Sit a little lower. Lift your chest nice and proud. And come back to chair pose. Take a full breath in, chair. Exhale, forward fold, melt your chest down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Maybe you hop back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take a full round of breath. Inhale, three-leg dog on the right side. Lift your right leg up, back behind you. Pigeon pose. Send your right knee by your right wrist. Your right toes by your left wrist as well. Sit up nice and tall for a full round of breath. Then exhale, option to melt your chest over your right leg. We'll start to cool down here. Know that everything you did today was absolutely amazing and you are exactly where you're meant to be. Improving your balance is one of the keys to longevity. The more we work on our balance, the less likely we are to fall. Start to crawl your chest back up proud. We'll sit on to the right hip so we can swing the left foot forward. Do a seated tree, a Janu Shirshasana here. Inhale, lift your arms up and flex your left foot. Exhale, forward fold over the left leg. Find length through the spine. And then exhale, breathe into the left hamstring. Crawl your torso back up, cross your legs. We'll come into our last chaturanga here. Step back to plank pose, lower halfway. Inhale to open your heart. And exhale, downward dog. Last downward dog here. Inhale, three-leg dog on the left side. Lift your left leg up and back. Pigeon pose, left knee comes by your left wrist. Left toes by your right wrist. Sit your hips down. Grow tall through the chest first and breathe in. Exhale, option to fold forward. One more cycle of breath here in pigeon. We'll bring our chest back up. Inhale. Exhale, we'll swing the right foot forward, left foot to your right inner thigh. Inhale, grow long through the chest first, and exhale, fold over the right leg. You can always keep a little bend in your right knee if that helps to take some pressure off your back. Remember, we're just creating space in the body here so we can create space in the mind. And walk your torso back up. Cross your legs. Bring your hands to your heart just as we started here. We will end. Press your thumbs against your sternum. Close down your eyes for a moment. Feel proud of yourself for everything that you did on the mat today. Take another round of breath. Let your heart rate come down. Let your breathing return to its natural state. I thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this outfit and you want to get one for yourself, click on the shelf below where you can see our brand and see all of our cute outfits. And thank you for joining me in day 1 of our yoga series. Don't forget to join me in video 2 next, and I'll see you there.
Welcome to Yoga Plus. Courses available from pupil to yogi. Sort by yoga, fitness, and instructors. Create your own routines. Access the pose library. Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth, available on Google Play and the App Store.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.